Alright, in this case we're going to look at solving right triangles with Pythagorean's theorem. So, whenever we have a right triangle, which is always noted with the little rectangle in the bottom, in the right corner, which means it's 90 degrees, or it'll be labeled 90 degrees. In that triangle, we usually label the two shorter sides A and B, and then the hypotenuse, which is the longest side of the right triangle, H. You'll notice the hypotenuse is pointed at almost like a little arrow here by that little square in the corner. So it's always the longest side that's the hypotenuse. Now, the Pythagorean theorem states that if you add the squares of these two sides, you'll get the square of h. So a squared plus b squared equals h squared. Let's take a look at actually using this in a couple examples. The first case, here we're going to find x. We're going to find the hypotenuse side. So we're going to find the h. So what I do is I'll write out my formula, a squared plus b squared equals h squared. I'll fill in these different sides. I know this is the longest side, so this is my h. And then a and b, it doesn't matter what you pick for a and b. I'm going to pick a and b here. And then I fill in my formula. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. Now remember, squared doesn't mean times 2. Squared means you multiply the number by itself. So we have 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4. And when we add those together, we'll get 25 equals x squared. Now, to get rid of the square, we do the opposite of square, which is take the square root. So we'll take the square root of both sides. Square root of that, square root of that. So that gives us a 5, and that will give us x. And there's our missing side, 5. Now, we can also find a side of the triangle. Over here, we're actually missing one of the shorter sides. So to do that, what we'll do, we're just going to move over here, is take the same formula and follow that same procedure. We just have a change in the middle the steps. So it's a squared plus b squared equals h squared. We label the different sides. There's my h, the 20. The x can be my a, and the 12 can be my b. And again, it doesn't matter what you pick for a and b. Now I fill in what I know. So I got x squared plus 12 squared equals 20 squared. I'll do those square of 12 and 20. So x squared x squared plus 144 equals 400. Now, doing a little bit of rearranging, just like our solving linear equations, we move the 144 over to the other side and subtract it. So we get x squared equals 400 minus 144. And so in this case, x squared will equal 256. And then we need to take the square root of both of those numbers to get our final answer. So x and square root of 256 is 16. And that there is our missing side. So those are the two situations you'll encounter. Either like the first one here, where we are rearranging the equation, where we're not rearranging the equation and we're just tabulating each piece and taking the square root. Or if you're finding the shorter side, like over here, you're going to take the equation and rearrange it by subtracting and finding your missing value. Make sure you always label the hypotenuse as the h, so that's that longest side that's across from the right angle in every case, and you should be fine with this.